Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Season 2 of the Universal Open. We've just seen another 3-0 sweep, this time from NRG2, one of the teams we were expecting to put on a bit of a performance for us, and they did exactly that in their last match. But now, we're bringing you, once again, another match. This time, it's going to be Splyce for the second time this evening, going up against Upper 90, gentlemen. So we've already seen Splyce today, we've already seen what they can do. What about this Upper 90 team? What they got on the table for us?
Well, first question, have Upper 90 actually played a game? Or
No,
have
they
both
haven't.
of their oppositions DC'd? I'm pretty sure they've both
No, this
DC'd.
is their first
Yeah.
match of the day because the last match they did not play at all. So this is the round after that one. So this is going to be their first time playing today. So could be
that's what's on the
interesting.
table
That's going
for
to be
them.
interesting, yeah, because obviously Splyce, they're going to be warm. You know, they came off the back of that pretty convincing 3-0 victory, we have to say. You know, they looked heads and shoulders above their opposition in that match. But, you know, coming in maybe a little bit cold, they've maybe playing a few games to warm up. But Upper 90 coming in against a Splyce squad
cold.
that's going to be hot. So it's going to be, they're going to have to turn up almost immediately here.
I mean, it's been a while now since that very first round. I can guarantee you that both these teams have either picked themselves up some scrims to play in or have just been playing ranked in all that time. So I almost feel like the first round just doesn't matter at this point. I mean, these teams have been around for ages. Yes, they'll have wished. Actually, I don't even say almost wished because that first round looked almost a little bit very difficult. So they've got through to this round. They didn't have to try and fight for it. They managed to skip one of those landmines. But this is the closest match of the day, by far. This should be pretty much the most interesting one. We should finally not get a 3-0 sweep.
Hopefully.
That's my only prediction here.
You've just cursed it. That's exactly what's going to happen now.
It's not.
As soon as someone says it's not going to be something, you know exactly what it's going to be.
Well, to say it's going to be a 3-0, and then we're all good.
It's going to be a 3-0.
There we are. Nobody wins
now.
now.
It all balances
Exactly.
out. Cosmic caster balance has been achieved.
Exactly.
We can let it go.
There's certain things we know in life. One is casters can't do maths. We've learned that today.
True.
One is that when the ball goes over the line, it is a goal.
Yes.
And the third thing is that apparently 3-0s, you know, if you say it's going to be 3-0, it's never a 3-0. So anyway,
Let's hope that works.
let's hope that works. But let's talk a little bit about Upper 90. What can we tell the people at home and some of the people watching about these players?
So, First Killer made kind of a name for himself doing community tournaments, played a lot of Nexus Gaming, 1v1, really big 1v1 player. So curious to see how well that translates in 2v2. So we know he's good with space, and you've got plenty of space, so it'll be interesting how many chances he gets versus that midfield defense from Splyce.
Yeah, I think both him and his teammate have got
Rapid.
a lot. Rapid. Sorry, I'm trying to find names here today, and it's not quite working out for me. But Achieves has got my back, as he always does. But both him and Rapid have been playing in those community tournaments and a lot of 1v1 tournaments, a lot of show matches under their belt. They are used to having at least 1,000 people watching them, so they're used to a little bit of pressure on their backs. But this is going to be ramping up a little bit. Now they're against Splyce. We've already seen what Splyce can do. It's going to be curious because Splyce, known for their team play against two players that I sort of shift towards saying more known for 1v1 individual play. So contrasting styles here, potentially. Like, we don't get a chance to see what these guys do in twos. They could go for something completely different for all we know.
That's a very good point. And it's always interesting to see when you do have those two contrasting styles of players. You know, you never quite know who's going to come out on top. Is it going to be the teamwork? Is it going to be, you know, those crazy individual plays that we saw a little bit from the NRG2 guys towards the end there? But it's always good to, maybe they'll learn from each other a little bit. You know, maybe we'll see some more individual plays coming in from Splyce that, you know, might upset the ante a little bit of their opposition. But looking forward to this one. I mean, let's talk about favourites. We're still waiting for a couple of players to get in the lobby here. We're not keeping you waiting as long as we can. But let's talk about, you know, individual players in this match that need to stand out to take the win home for their team. I mean, who have you got who needs to have a big performance in this game?
I think if I had to pick one player, because I think you have to base this off of your favorite, right? So I think we're all kind of in agreement. We think Splyce is going to win this. So I think the player who needs to step up if they want to win is going to have to be First Killer, just because he's probably the most adept and well adapted to kind of this scenario and playing against people roughly around this caliber. So if he wants to win this game, he's going to have to be able to get through that midfield, create chances, and Rapid's going to have to be able to follow up.
What about you, Shogi? What are you thinking about this one?
I'm going to be one of those guys right now that
You
sort of
are
says
that
that.
guy. You're not one of those guys,
I'm
you are
always
that
guy.
guy.
But I'm going to be the one that says, look, we can't look towards individuals to step up in this game because we're at that sort of level now, and with that few players on the field, everyone has to step up because the moment someone doesn't step up to the plate, that's the team that loses. So it's hard for me to say, okay, I'm looking at this person to really do a lot because everyone here should really be pulling their weight.
Well, I think it's different from saying you need this person to do everything.
Well, I think it's very much different compared to Freeze, where we can look towards certain matchups and say, okay, well, this is the player that's sort of the backbone. Whilst both these two teams are going to have pretty much everyone doing roughly the same roles,
Yeah.
so it's hard to interchange that.
So I guess, how about I clarify?
Okay.
I'm saying first killer does not have to be the guy to get everything done for Upper 90. He just has to get chances for his team. I'm not asking him to do a lot. I'm just saying, does he get chances? If he gets chances, they have a chance.
So I want to move this one question more towards win conditions, like what they need to try and force. I would really like to try and see Splyce take this match to the air as much as possible. I would love to try and see them play a boost control game, launch the ball long, force themselves to get hold of those 2 middle boosts, and then try and get first killer and Rapid to react. On the other side, though, I think it's all about ball control when it comes to first killer and Rapid.
Exactly.
As soon as they get it under their grasp and they can force a couple of good challenges, I think they'll be able to read the game just a little bit faster and a little bit better. I think that's the way they can pick up some goals and pick up them wins.
Yeah, they'll play to their strengths, Upper 90 1v1ers. So, get the ball on dribbles, make them miss, do your thing.
Do your thing. Well, one person who isn't doing their thing right now is one of the Upper 90 guys. He's having some controller issues we're hearing in the background, so we're waiting for him to.
Let's get Sad Jr. out of here. Let's get him his keyboard.
Let's get the keyboard out. Let's also get a little screwdriver out and just to see if we can help him out with that one. But yeah, we're just waiting for this one to get underway. But I mean, let's talk about Splyce and what we saw from them earlier. What impressed you? Obviously, we talked about their team play a little bit. Let's throw it back to obviously their 3-0 win earlier. Not the toughest of opposition. We could say that they were, maybe throwing some style out there for us towards the end as well. But what impressed you about those two players? Because Karma had pretty big performance in that game.
I think it was the fact that they were executing upon what they were trying to do. It's one thing where you try to go for these passing plays and they, don't work, but you can go back to it later and eventually on the 3rd or 4th attempt, you're going to score it. But most of the time, they were nailing it first time around, which sort of sends a message to a lot of their opponents just saying, okay, if we get the space, we can do this. So it's going to force a lot of their teammates to move forward and stay very tight. And that opens up more options to you, because once you've got players that are sort of staying tight and not allowing you much space to move, then you can start blasting the ball away and really stretching the opponent's offensive and defensive moves.
And that all really comes from, again, that boost control. They're able to stay so close and box a lot of them, and because they control the boost on the pitch. Those 2 midfield boosts, by far and away, the most important 200 boosts on the entire field. A lot of people think it's, just 100 boost, but no, it's 100 boost that goes both sides, and it's a very big boost pad for them to hold on to.
Well, just to remind everyone as well, obviously one of our fantastic sponsors, Soylent, will be donating 10 meals for every single goal that is scored so far, and at the moment, gentlemen, we are sat on 60 goals, so that is 600 meals that will be donated to the World Food Programme over in the USA, which is a fantastic cause,
today.
and 60 goals.
We've got 2 days left after this.
Yeah,
We've got 2 days left,
more.
but 600 meals. I mean, we've done pretty well, right? Congratulations to all the players. Little round of applause. But it also gives me a chance, just while we're waiting for this one to get underway, to remind you all to get in contact with us. Shogun, what's the hashtag?
Hashtag UOS2.
Oh, he did it. I put him under pressure,
Yes,
and he absolutely nailed it as
I don't know
well.
if the camera got it, but as soon as he asked, I just went...
Yeah, that was
Don't
why I
bet
did
it.
it. He said that he wasn't going to get done with a maths question, but I hit him with something else. It was more general knowledge, to be honest with you. But as you can see, it's up here behind us. Use that hashtag UOS2 and get in contact with us. Let us know what you want to see. Let us know any maths questions for Shogun. Let us know if achieves any football questions for him. Get in touch, because we're all struggling here, but we're making it through together. We want you to be involved as well. We're just moments away, though, gentlemen. It's going to be the final match of the day, I believe, as well, which is it's always a sad moment, isn't it? It's always a sad moment. Oh, what are you going to get up to after this? You're going to explore.
What
London? I've just realised. Do you know what? It's really weird. We came in and it was like really light, wasn't it? And I feel like it's like 8 o'clock in the evening, but I think it's just gone midnight here.
So
we're not going to do much.
It's close to midnight right about now. There's not much open after this for us, so we'll probably be heading straight back to the hotel.
Pretty much, yeah. I'll be
probably look at some tape, look at some stats, look at everything. I do want to say one thing, actually, to a lot of these teams, though. Now that we do have these charities on board, donating 10 meals per goal, no mercy.
No
at
mercy.
This point.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point. I want nothing but goals. That is it.
Yes.
Even if you come up against an opponent where they're like, oh, you were just happy to be here. I don't want them to be happy to be here. I want the people who are hungry to be happy, and the only way we can do that is goals.
Put
Correct?
the 22-3
I won't
18-minute game one.
We see the triple Brazil. That is a good day for everyone.
You're not wrong.
Day. That's what we want. That's what we want. I mean, we probably won't see it in this match, let's be honest with you, but we have seen a lot of goals. As we say, I think we're on, did I say 60?
60.
60
yes. Nice round
goals
number.
So far. Let's have a little bit of predictions thing then. Let's see. How many goals do you think we're going to end up on today, gentlemen?
Ooh, well, Splyce scored 12 in their first series versus Titanium Squash. So here versus Rapid Killer, I'll give them 10 total over 4 games.
Okay, Shogi,
I'm
going to
say we're going to finish overall on 79 just to really frustrate me.
Total for the day?
No, not for this series, but overall we're going to finish on 79, which is just going to leave me like sort of twitching at the lack of a round number.
Be 80. Yeah,
it has to be 80. It has to be 80.
So we're on 60. I'm going to go. So Achieves, what were you again? I'm
All right,
making
so-
mental notes here.
so-
Mental notes meaning using a pen and paper.
So my Splyce prediction is that Splyce scores 10 goals.
10 goals.
Total for the
Okay.
series,
Total for the
probably
plus
15.
So 15 in total. Carry the 75. 75 there.
75, yes.
Cast the maths. And Shogi, you were 79.
Yes.
Okay, so I will go.
He's going to go one below me, isn't he?
The price is right.
Or one over me. Which way is it?
The tension is palpable. I could feel it.
No, he's just trying to figure out what numbers are over 70.
Yeah, I've never gone that high. To be honest with you.
-2 intelligence.
All right, I'm going for. Do you know what?
He's going to
You've
go for
both-
70x, isn't he?
You've both like applied logic to it. That's what's really annoyed me here because there's no like obvious way
Yes,
for me
my
to go
logic
on it.
of close
53.
to a round number but will annoy me a little bit is really sound analyst logic.
80
80.
goals is
80
what I'm
even.
going for. 80 goals. Use
know
the
what?
hashtag
Actually, if that doesn't look 80, I'll be
UOS2
happy.
to let us know what you think is going to happen and how many meals are going to end up giving away and how many goals are going to be scored today. But I mean, you're completely right. You're completely right. There was absolutely no logic behind what you just said, was there? But I like how you admit that. That's what I like about you, Shogun.
I
You
got,
know,
I got the
when there
analyst
is
title in
something,
game, and that's what I do.
when there is something to back it up, you're
When people
happy
ask me
to
in
present
game,
that. But when there's
it's-
not, you'll put your hands up.
When people ask me in game, what's an analyst? I go, you're right. What is an analyst? Not me.
It's kind of, it's like your wardrobe, You dress really nice,
Do you know what?
but there's always that slight bit that could be better, and you know.
What, this?
That looks great.
I'm not too... Wait, he's so nice. He's my new bro. He's my new bro.
I'm just about to say I was really happy that you brought that back there, Achieves, because I was feeling a little bit of tension in the room there. And I thought I was going to have to step in, maybe just calm things down a little bit. Sorry that we're keeping you waiting, by the way. We're still waiting for one of the players to get in the lobby as soon as we can. Of course, get him in there.
I don't know. I think we've taken more shots in these last 5 minutes than most of these players do in games. So I'm feeling pretty good about this right now.
Paul!
Sorry, everyone. I'll put my hands up right now. I'm just sorry, everyone. Sorry. Shogi's he's getting tired. He's getting grumpy. And that means Shogi gets angry. When Shogi gets angry, the shots start getting
no
fired.
one else that I broadcast with calls me Shogi. Yeah,
You are
on set,
Shogi.
I am Shogi.
It's
To you, I am Shogi.
Look, you're Shogi Bear. All right, that's what I know you as. I mean, I thought we were keeping that off camera, but it's out there now. Anyway, it looks like the players might be ready, so we're almost ready to get into this game. Let's bring the conversation back to this game. Obviously, the winner of this one is going to be one more game away if they win one more series after this one from qualifying, which is obviously what they want to do. I mean, that adds a little bit more pressure to this game. Do you think that either of these teams? We talked about Splyce at the start. Sometimes, when the pressure can get to these players a little bit, they have a little bit of a backstory there with failing when the pressure's on.
Yeah, they definitely haven't had the strongest showing when there's a lot of hype behind them. So it'll be interesting to see how they stack up here versus Rapid and First Killer, because we know there's a couple bubble players and bubble teams that really put up really good showings against all types of players, including the top RLCS teams.
Well, I did challenge them earlier on to try and take to the air. However, seems like Upper 90 are the ones that have been happy to take that challenge to say, hey, Shogun, we know how to play up here. We are more than solid everywhere on the field. Rapid, early challenge from him. He's actually got First Killer as the infield option, who's actually come pretty close. A shooting opportunity, not on target. And now it's going to be Karma one-on-one against Rapid, but she needs to play this one nice and quick. She's done so well. Another great save. Some of those great 1v1 abilities on display on defense. However, the numbers game coming into play.
Yeah, you hit the nail right on the head. This was great 1v1 defense from Rapid. First Killer, he really tried. He did not manage his speed very well going back to the net, just trying to race back there. He made a good effort at it, but Karma mostly set up by how quickly she got that dribble started and moved upfield. If she takes any longer, she might actually get challenged
flip
and not even have that
reset.
chance.
Well, he managed to use it, but couldn't quite land himself on the correct side of the ball in order to actually make decent enough contact. Jay Wismont, low boost, but how much does the orange team know? Not very much from the looks of it.
A lot of time.
Karma finding some angles. Immediate challenge. Quite strong as well, but Jay Wismont just wants to play to the corner and then just tripped up. Rapid goes flying into the air. It was like a trampoline suddenly got placed underneath him. The infield passing option is taken. Rapid reads it incredibly well, though. Only a one-goal game right now. This is incredibly fast-paced.
Yeah, quite impressed with Rapid and First Killer, considering how much we build up that they're 1v1 players. Great vision on reading a lot of these passes coming out of Splyce.
Karma struggling just a little bit. This could open up some space. Jay Wismont did not take the bait, did not move out too much. It was incredibly easy to do right there, but instead stuck his car down and allowed the ball just to come over to him. First Killer's first touch. Able to set himself up.
What a
Gets
catch.
the flick, but Only good enough to beat Karma, not good enough to beat Wismont, who was waiting on the goal line. Like the idea so far, but that is a big mistake. Rapid forced to try and come through. I believe that might have been a boost steal as well.
That'll do it.
Karma with the shot on target. Upper 90, getting shown that any mistakes, no matter where it is on the field, can lead to absolute catastrophe anywhere else.
Yeah, it's kind of... That's just a weird decision from Upper 90 there. You really got to wonder is, like, first killer's thinking, oh, Rapid's backward, I'll just go challenge the ball. But it's like, you know, these guys have thousands of hours. There's no way he's not aware that Rapid can just jump off and stop that ball. Just an odd breakdown and maybe a little bit of go-get-him attitude coming out.
Early challenge. Wismont has a decent amount of time. Hasn't got a decent amount of boost, though, but still keeps this one going. Reading this play incredibly well. Knows exactly where that ball is going to go. Continuing just to carry that ball everywhere. Now, finally, it's going to be Karma's turn to move in.
Another one.
First killer. Which is the only one back, but it is going to be Rapid upending. I do like the pressure being put on right now, though, from Splyce. They are not over-exaggerating. They are not overreaching. Rapid. How far can he take this one? But Karma just sits there and just says, okay, that was pretty, but
it did look
nothing
pretty.
else.
And that's what really counts, Shogun. If there's one thing that I know I'm all about, it's all about the style points.
Okay. To be fair, you do dress pretty well. You know what? I would actually believe that about you.
I also play Captain Falcon in Smash, so it's the short hop true combo right into the Falcon Punch, you know.
First killer tries to clear the ball away. All the way back off.
Oh my gosh.
It's one of the most difficult things when you take on higher tier players is just how well they can hit the ball and how powerful they can from almost anywhere. You feel like you've got them locked down, but instead it just goes over the top of your head. Now Wismont has got the double tap available. It's going to be dangerous, but first killer just behind. Able to lock that one down. Now Karma just wants to get that one straight back over to Wismont, who will happily receive.
You know, one thing I have been impressed with from Upper 90 is, despite them being down 2 goals, they're really not ever strapped for boost. They have no problems going out and getting it. Because they're both very confident in leaving somebody in net, maybe even in a 1-on-2, just because they're just that proficient at defense right now.
Rapid finds first killer.
Oh,
Double tap is available, just out of reach.
Oh, the pass back up, and he just came off the back wall. Unfortunate.
Wismont can power the ball back to the other end of the field. 45 seconds remaining. The 2-goal lead is not insurmountable for Splyce. Slowing down the pace so far. Happy to play defense and allow Upper 90 to move towards them. Might just cut across the middle. Karma has low boost. Does manage to avoid the demo. Just managed to pick up a little bit of boost pads from the field. And that time wasting could very well be enough. Wismont would love to add yet another to the tally. Still the boost around. That should very well do it. Splyce holding on. Upper 90 showing glimpses, but they were not able to break the Splyce defense even once in this opening game. Although they've got one more opportunity to do so. Rapid will be shut down, but first killer keeps that ball alive. Wismont just lets it go over the top.
Yeah, pretty sound game 1 from Upper 90. We said it was going to be the closest match of the entire day. Game 1 definitely at least shows that. Only 2 goals for Wiz and Splyce, so I am feeling pretty good about 10 on the entire series.
Yeah, I think the one thing we can take away from that one is, you know, an incredibly close series, but, you know, you look at the 2 goals that Splyce scored. One of them a massive mistake, a double commit from both of the players on Upper 90. So, you know, you maybe take that mistake out of there, which is one of those that maybe miscommunication, something like that. It's a 1-0 game. There's one goal between these 2 teams, and you saw a lot of the individual plays started to come out of the guys on Upper 90, but they just couldn't convert. Splyce defense was pretty impressive as well.
Yeah, I feel like Upper 90 is just trying to move forward individually a little bit too much. We didn't see them often trying to find each other for a pass. And whenever they did, they tried it during the opening few moments of the game, and it didn't work. So they suddenly decided, okay, well, it's not going to work. No, try it again a couple more times, but do it from a better angle. Do it where it's less predictable what you're trying to actually go for. One of the better chances I feel like they had was when they had someone on the backboard. They passed it straight up, and they almost managed to drop it straight back down. That was good vision. That was a good idea. But when it doesn't work once, they seem to try something else rather than just trying it again, but better.
Yeah, Splyce was also making it fairly difficult on them because they had pretty solid rotation out of the midfield. It was kind of evenly split around that midfield boost pad and who controlled it all game. I didn't feel like Upper 90 were ever really strapped for boost or low on boost, but they definitely weren't able to go out and really get any dribbles started just because J-Wiz and Karma were doing such a nice job at keeping those rotations, like you were talking about, really tight.
Yeah, I would definitely say right now that J-Wiz has been the difference between these two teams. Just that ability for a blasting clear across the field can be so useful, but that could be goal number 1. Upper 90 finally on the board. And it only took 5 seconds.
Sometimes it takes a little reset. Just a great challenge from First Killer. He stays with that ball after the initial kickoff, and Rapid, man after my own heart, cruising around in the dominance. I appreciate you. Slams it in.
Splyce now need to try and find a response. They've got more than enough time, though, to do exactly that. Rapid
reset?
Tries for the flip reset off the post. Whenever you do something good, there just seems to be something in the world that doesn't want you to just turn that ball into the back of the net.
What a save. And a huge dive from Splyce as well. Karma's trying to challenge with nothing in the tank. It was a risky play. Got away with it, though.
Seems like those flip reset games only. Definitely helping out Upper 90 just a little bit. J-Wizmon tries to find the corner. Roll out just a little bit and then forced to hit the ball off the ping shot. Dropping straight down, J-Wizmon. He's got Karma. Karma can pass it back off to J-Wizmon, but the first touch, not great. Straight over to Rapid. Now J-Wizmon wants to keep that pressure going, but straight over to the middle. Rapid, 0 boost. A little bit of pace on the ball, picks up the boost once again. And the bump was just good enough. J-Wizmon to Karma. Karma to the net. There is Rapid, though. And First Killer clears long. This is a much better performance so far from Upper 90. I feel like they're controlling the space well, but it seems like all or nothing defense. They need to get someone forward, otherwise they can allow J-Wizmon to play the ball. This time around, they get people around just in time. But now Karma with her turn. Past 1. Can't block the second.
I don't exactly know what Rapid's plan there was.
I mean, J-Wiz probably had that covered no matter what.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a little bit more pace being involved in Upper 90's gameplay. Karma just about misses.
Trade a little paint. Battle for possession. Good support from First Killer, though. It's one of the rare instances where the double commit is warranted.
Oh, there's a miss. J-Wizmon has got Karma in support as well. I don't know if he was trying to fake that one out to allow her to move forward for the shot, but they've managed to maintain possession on the halfway line. Rapid, bumped, First Killer away. J-Wizmon has got boost and just doesn't read the ball off the side. First Killer just has a little bit of a tussle. Was trying to move towards that ball. Half the game left to play now. Upper 90, up by a single goal to none. And that first touch there from First Killer.
No boost. Needs
Might
help.
be able to set something up, but it's slow, it's dirty, but so far it has not resulted in a goal. Upper 90 might be testing their luck. If they get too far forward, that big clear from J-Wizmon could become a factor yet again. They're going to try and back down from this. I think that might be the best idea for them. Do not overcommit when you've got yourself a 1-goal lead.
And it was a big play from Rapid on that way out. As they made that decision, stole away that Splyce boost, raced them back into the midfield, and did not let them out for free, and more importantly, let them out with no boost.
J-Wiz to the corner. Right down the line. That touch there from Killer will not be very good and Rapid.
Oh, it's just
scrambling to make something of this off from the ceiling. Karma will not be around to read that one. It's a free hit, though. See Splyce going long more consistently. Testing Upper 90, wanting to see what their response will be to a long ball. There's a block. J-Wizmon didn't do too well off that one, and now just over a minute to go. Upper 90 settling themselves back and looking to utilize that very good defense we saw in game number 1, but this time they can have both players around to help out. Karma up, off the crossbar, well controlled by Rapid, still dangerous. Ooh, but over to the side, now First Killer can break. Instead, they're just going to go one-person offense. That might be all they need. But you can see Upper 90 Not exactly settling on this 1-goal lead, but they're definitely not going to push for the 2 that much.
Every now and again, though, Upper 90, when they get boxed into their own half, they send one player really deep because it's what I was talking about earlier. Splyce is really commanding those 2 midfield boosts quite well. But Upper 90 is having to send one player out really far to go grab boosts when they get boxed in on defense. And with 20 seconds left, it'll be interesting to see if Splyce can really make a push happen with that.
Clear, but first killer waiting on the halfway line. Don't expect them to try too much more other than that. Just looking to launch balls to the other side of the field. Jay Wismont
Keeps it close.
one of the last opportunities for Splyce of this game. Up high, Jay Wismont can't control very well. That will drop to the floor, and for the first time today, and for the first time of the Season 2 Universal Open, we don't have a 3-0 onset.
We don't have a 3-0. I'm so happy about that, to be honest with you. We have a series on our hands, gentlemen, like we like to say. A bit of life being shown here by Upper 90. They had to grind out that win, though. It was a really tight affair.
I mean, a 1-0 in a 2v2.
1-0.
Shocking, really, to be honest. And it came 6 seconds in off that kickoff as well. So it was kind of, hey, welcome to game number 2. And then it's Rapid and First Killer trying to get some things started. Had a couple of okay attempts at offense. But other than that, they pretty much spent that entire thing on defense.
Yeah, they allowed themselves just to settle down quite a bit. They went for a lot of individual plays rather than trying to take it by themselves. So it definitely might show that, you know, losing that first goal to First Killer and Rapid is a terrible thing to do because they know how to settle themselves down and they can hold themselves. If you send a player towards them trying to dribble, they know how to deal with that. You're going to have to try something pretty incredible to get the ball past them. So maybe, just maybe, if they can keep this up, we have an upset on our hands.
Yeah, that's a good point. We could see, as you say, the first upset of the day. We've got the first not 3-0, which is, you know, something to start with.
Already reasonable.
Yeah, already something to be excited about, but we could see the first potential upset. I mean, Splyce, they were knocking at the door for the entirety of that match. I mean, you have to say, defensively, Upper 90 were very impressive, but, I mean, what could Splyce... Splyce seemed to try a few different things in that, but just couldn't break down the defense. I mean, what would you recommend they maybe try in this next game?
So it's kind of difficult for them, but right now, part of what is making Upper 90 so good can also be used against them. They need to try and commit as little as possible when taking that ball away from the oncoming player. That would leave them in a very nice position of being 2v1, and they can take advantage of that rather than trying to send one player forward. Right now, they're sort of being twisted and turned so much by what Rapid and Upper First Killer are doing, where they've got one player with so little boost, so it just leaves Karma or J-Wiz one-on-one, which is very difficult to get the ball past them. But if they can get that 2-on-1 advantage going, then they can go for that demo or just a team play. The options are theirs to take. So game number 3, for the first time today, game number 3 is not a match point. First Killer, just showing everyone he had the option.
How awesome would that have been if he caught that? Pulled the old press A to flip your car.
I mean, it was only a good mile or 2 away from him, but it was a good idea.
Those are the goals that make me really happy. I'm not even kidding. Those just make me giggle.
Karma taking the shot. J-Wiz almost cut that one away, but there is nobody back. There's Splyce double down. And there's the problem right there. If you double down, you better score.
You better score is right, and that's not just a Splyce issue. That's a 2v2 in general. If you go for it that hard, you better at least get a pretty big piece of it if it's not going into the back of the net. Neither of those two things happen, and you know.
So that is definitely going to be held on Jay Wismont there, though. He had the option, try and swipe across the ball, or try and move himself back. Option B was definitely in hindsight the better one. Now Rapid and First Killer looking to do what they did in game number 2. Take that 1-goal lead early in the match and just never overcommit. Settle down on it. If you get a second goal, that's lovely. If you don't, oh well, you're still all good.
Splyce has been kind of on fairly low boost, especially J-Wiz for the past 15, maybe 20 seconds or so. It's kind of having Karma to have to go and do everything at the moment.
Karma infield, already covered by Rapid. There's the demo, and Jay Wismont can immediately turn.
Gets that stolen.
Look how close that shadow was. Not even allowing a split second for Splyce to move forward and take the ball under their own control.
Oh man, well, if you got no boost, you might as well fire a pinch off of the net.
Rapid moving by himself. Going to be very difficult to cause any real hassle from the corner. Now it's Rapid versus Jwiz. Jwiz knows better than to try and move forward and try and get a hold of that. That could have been a shot though. Rapid
Didn't have the boost.
just wasn't in position to take the shot, but there is 2-0. First killer off the post and in.
Yeah, Rapid kind of went for it. He got
it's
two
double
players
commit.
of Splyce to bite at it too. Big double commit from Splyce as well. And first killer, like the time he took, you know, got to make sure you get all the way around that ball, really get some weight behind your shot, and just got it off the inside of the post and in.
Oh, is that going to be a kickoff goal? No, just rolls itself up.
Well, that's a
Rapid
boomer.
pretty much knew about it, didn't even really try to move forward to prevent it. Karma, I think she would have preferred a demo rather than a bump. Looping clear. Jwizmon will have time to play, but how much boost? Very little. Once again, that means the clear is not great.
Oh,
Will
can he get
tap
it?
back down for the double tap. Rapid makes it free.
And hello, Upper 90 Esports. Welcome to Offensive Life. You spent all of game number 2 on defense, and what a read off of that top corner from Rapid. Just went down and got it. Surprising to see Karma not up, at least for the bounce off the back wall. There's something kind of just let that happen, but way to go get it, Rapid.
Brought up earlier, the boost control from Splyce, or the boost management, I might even say,
Jwiz has been pretty low.
not been fantastic so far. They're trying to play with too much pace for an amount of boost that they just simply don't have, and they're being caught for every single time. Whilst on the other side, Upper 90, relying on individual skill to cause havoc for Splyce's defense, and it is working time and time again.
Well, really fast did that one. This is the first big chance here for Splyce, and met well by first killer right in front of the net.
It's a very efficient defense so far from Upper 90. They don't use more than they really have to. That bounce is incredibly awkward. Can Splyce mount a comeback? 3 goals more than doable, especially in twos. They've got to find a way past an Upper 90 defense that has not conceded in an incredibly long time. They're coming up on 2 full games.
First touches haven't been super clean from Splyce. They haven't been bad, but they haven't been, you know, perfect for what you need, and it's really giving that small window of opportunity to Upper 90, and all credit to them. They've taken advantage of it every time.
Oh, Jwiz, I think, was trying to go for a demo,
that
but
might
it
be
wasn't
on.
quite there. Another big clear. Jwiz has got Rapid right in front of him. Rapid's done incredibly well. That could drop in, but just a little bit further away. Just over a minute remaining now. Upper 90 maintaining
Pressure.
their 3-goal lead, and plenty of pressure, as you do say. And there's just no way around. I mean, you're just
what a
stuck on the
fake.
ball. Rapid and first killer playing with their food at this point. Almost flicking the ball straight over. Not quite in. But right now, I've got to say, I'm incredibly impressed by this.
Yo, this is what happens when you see 1v1 players play 2v2 and they start having fun. They start doing what Rapid just did right in front of that net. The short hop catch, a little bit of shimmy shake, make them think for a moment on defense, and they turn it around on the second effort and get the goal. Upper 90, they're having fun right now.
45 seconds remaining. Splyce, I feel like just trying to find a goal to end the streak, end the drought, some might say.
Yeah.
I said almost 2 full games that they have not managed to score against Upper 90. Jwiz with Karma in field. They've gone for a few times. Jwizmon went for the 360 no-scope. Ended up missing, but I gotta say, his misses go. That was a pretty
That's a
good
pretty one. That's a pretty one to
And
miss.
there's no
And-
goal against them. You know what? That wasn't too pretty. That was just a goal.
Yeah, that's pretty disappointing.
How much are we up to at this point? I believe
So it's 5 goals,
9.
7. We're at 7, 6, or 5, 6, 7, 8. We're at 8 total.
8.
Sorry.
Yes.
We're at 8. We're close. What'd you
Yeah.
say? You said we get to
I said
79 total.
so I
said
need another,
75.
I need another 11 goals. Which, if we go to game 5, maybe.
Maybe. To be fair, none of our predictions will be correct. I did say Splyce would score 10 goals. The only one who can be fully correct is Onset, because he said there would just be 80 and that's it.
Karma all the way up. Just gonna watch as the ball touches the floor. Jwizmon doesn't want too much of that though, but it will drop. And that is now 2 full games without scoring. Splyce really being forced to fight for this.
And what's really interesting is it was 2 completely separate paths to victory for Upper 90. Upper 90 in game number 2 is, hey, get 1 and then just sort of buckle down on defense. Game number 2 is get on offense and do what we wanted you guys to do at the start of the series. It was kind of interesting to see that switch sort of turn on and the offense get rolling.
Yeah, one thing that impressed me though was not only, offensively like you're talking about, they were impressive. Again, defensively, so solid, and Splyce really having trouble to beat them down. I mean, Shogun, what have Splyce got to do to tie up the series to send this to game number 5?
They need new tricks in the bag. Straight up, they have tried that infield pass over and over and over again. It is not working. They need something different. Now, the only 2 options they've gone for so far have been dribbles and infield passing. They need something else in there to really start varying it, because once that ball comes down, as soon as someone from Rapid, or Upper 90, look at the ball and just go, okay, you're on the far side of the ball. You're going to cut it infield.
Yeah,
we know that. I can cover that nice and easily. So they've got to find out some new stuff. I would like to see them go on the wall a little bit. How often are we really seeing them use the wall at all right now?
Well, they didn't have any boost in game number 3.
I mean, if you're using the wall, you don't need as much boost.
Yeah, but they can't follow it up with that boost.
I still think you can do something, especially if you put it up far enough. You got ceiling shots. You can get it off the backboard nice and safely from there. Then it's up to your teammate about what they want to do with it. But something different, I feel, would really help them.
Yeah.
It's interesting you're mentioning how you're talking about it now. You're almost inside the heads of Splyce at the moment. They're probably thinking we have to try something different here, but you're by saying you're still not quite sure what that thing might be. So as you can see, we're into our game number 4. We always see our first game 5 of the day. Upper 90 currently up 2-1.
Yep, and we're going to start off.
Free ball for Upper 90.
The first goal is going to be incredibly telling as well. I feel like the last game got away from Splyce purely because... Oh, wow, that's going to be an attempt. I feel like the last game got away from Splyce as soon as that second goal went in. You've got to remember, Upper 90 are not actively searching for that second one, but once it happens, it forces Splyce to play a lot more open and makes them more vulnerable to the offensive powers of Upper 90.
I'm really looking for Splyce to hang on to a lot more boost in the tank than game number 3, because that was the big thing for me. They just couldn't do anything.
Because they're going so direct and so central with a lot of their moves, there's no boost over in the center. If they were to play a little bit wider, maybe they'd have a few more options for themselves. Just pick up boost as the play is happening.
Pathing is important, kids.
Goes from the ceiling. That's going to drop straight down, but first killer still around. Opportunity is still there, though.
Okay.
Off the ceiling play, Jay Wismon eventually able to follow up. I called for it. I said I wanted this, and it works out.
It took 11 minutes and 5 seconds, but they finally get one on the board. Kind of an awkward defensive position for Upper 90. You do have a lot more options off the back wall, but it is kind of tough to go backwards. And unfortunately, Rapid just caught slightly too far forward on that back wall and couldn't go all the way back. Jay Wiz just beats him there. And finally, Splyce can breathe easy.
How well can they do off the defensive? Jay Wismon follows up. Would love to have to get a touch there. First killer, first of the ball. I'm not too sure on the boost. Has got enough just to power the ball down to the other end of the field. Rapid consistently around that wall. Every single time Splyce tried to clear their lines, he is already there. The attempted shot almost in, but Karma will just see that ball away, guide it away from the danger zone.
I am liking Splyce. They're at least up in Upper 90's face a little bit. They're not letting Upper 90 do what they're good at. They're forcing them to clear that ball long. They are not letting them get dribble started, because they definitely had a lot of fun with that last game for sure.
Rapid down to first killer. He can keep this one going if he wants to.
Oh, he beat him.
He's going to go all the way down. That 1-goal lead will mean for absolutely nothing at this point. Rapid baits out Jay Wismont.
I mean, I don't think I necessarily fault Jay Wismont for going for that. It's not like he was beat, by a mile and a half. He was just late to that ball, but great play from Rapid either way, because he wasn't quite cleanly on that wall. So as soon as he got up there, he knew he didn't have a lot of time to work with, and just immediately went for that ball, just edged it out. And more importantly, just put it right in target, too.
First killer to the corner. Karma just trying to follow the ball around, and now she's got it. Lays off the pass to J-Wiz. It's immediately red. Too obvious of what they're trying to go for. If you've got 2 players on a line, guess what they're probably going to go for?
A back pass.
Okay, well, that's the reason why you're stuck in Champ 3. That Grand Champ is very far away from you right now, Chiefs.
You never said which direction the line is going.
Didn't realize it had to be that specific. Up&90 looking for that final win. That'll put them through to the next round and put them one win away.
Nice touch.
That's going to be an absolute rocket towards, but an even better brick wall put up to force the ball away.
Oh, this is
Jaywiz
dangerous.
has got karma available, but can't get there in time. Splyce have got the ideas, but between solid defending and a lack of execution, couldn't finish it off.
You see, they realized that the infield pass was lame, so they went for the kick out to the corner. And
I like it. Use the angles.
Oh, here
Rapid
we go.
looks for the flip reset, but
Dropped it.
the car does get a little bit put off, but there is first killer, 2 goals to 1. Jaywiz and Karma maybe respecting these flip resets and these air dribble attempts a little bit too much. There was no reaction.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time, I don't even know if you can really... It feels like no decision you make there is going to be a good decision, you know? Because as soon as you jump, you know he's going to hit it. And as soon as you leave it, it's exactly like the bounce dribble. If a player on this pitch already has the time and space to get a flip reset off the ball, you're kind of just hoping at that point.
Rapid. Let's that ball straight down. First killer. Can follow up. Jaywiz low on boost and low on options. 3 goals to 1. Splyce are on the verge of being knocked down to the lower bracket.
Oh, Jaywiz caught creeping forward. That's got to be a missed time on when he thinks that midfield boost is going to spawn, because he was sitting right there. He's like, this boost is going to spawn, this boost is going to spawn, this boost is going to... And then it's not there. And he just gets beat back to the net for it.
Boost control from Jaywiz has been a constant blight on the attempts from Splyce. Up&90, 1 minute away from a big win from them. They came into this game having not played in the very first round.
Open.
And now they're looking to try and force one of the tournament favorites, not necessarily the tournament favorites, but the regional favorites. One of the regional favorites. There are a lot of them right now. In the form of Splyce, down to the next round of the lower bracket. Played out.
Good chance here, 2-on-1.
Infield once again tempted, once again red, once again scored upon. The definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. But the result this time was different. A goal on your own net.
Was that different though?
Well,
I feel
the
like
other times it's just been cleared.
Okay.
So
you make an excellent distinction. You are correct. Man, what a show from Upper-90 though. We're not sure if they were going to be able to get many chances versus this midfield defense coming out of Splyce. And to be fair, they did a great job of it in game number 1. Even game number 2, they kept a lot of pressure up, but 3 and 4, it was all Upper-90. They figured out how to hang on to the boost, how to put balls in the net like that. First killer's cruising. It's 5-1. This is a well-deserved win for Upper-90.
Sublime. Absolutely sublime. And what a way to cap off today's broadcast. Not a 3-0. However, as dominant as a 3-1 as you will see, Upper-90, they took a little bit of time to figure it out, but boy did they figure it out.
13 goals on the series. I was close.
I was 6 away.
You were close, and most importantly, you won. Most importantly, though, Upper-90, they knocked Splyce down into the lower bracket, as Shogun mentioned previously. But, gentlemen, what a performance there from Upper-90. The two ones players have come out in the twos, and they are performing better than probably we expected, to be honest with you.
Well, we weren't sure if they were going to be able to beat Splyce, and kudos to them for stepping up and doing exactly that. And it was the big question we had was, all right, how do they deal with teamwork? And it's they just do the same pass over and over. So you get that under your belt and you say, okay. and
yeah,
you pointed that out multiple times, and that's all they got. Then,
I really want to look at today's game between these two teams as a way of calculating, okay, what is more effective? A 1-1 where you're basically just saying, okay, we'll just send one player, the other player loiter around, you are there to react to whatever I do, versus like a 2-player teamwork. I want to use this match as a way of deciphering whether or not, which style works better. I don't really know if I can do that from that game because I don't think the team play was utilized all that well, so the jury is still out on that.
Yeah, I mean, you saw, because, what about JNaps and Garrett G? That's like the first killer and rapid approach, but,
slightly, tighter and slightly more options in terms of the passing play.
Yeah.
So we've only just got started right now for the UO S2, and there are a lot of questions to be answered in terms of how these teams are playing, how they're going to adapt to each other.
Well, it's a very good question that you raise, and there are more questions that we still are looking to be answered. And by the way, it's hashtag UOS too, so make sure you get that right next time. Get that hashtag in there. But also, what's very important to a lot of people, obviously, is the fight against hunger. We've been keeping track of all the goals that have been going in today, but thanks to our fantastic sponsors, Soylent, they will be donating 10 meals to the World Food Programme over in the USA for every single goal that is scored. I'm pleased to announce that we had 74 goals scored today. So Achieve's got it one off. He was pretty close, but that's a fantastic effort from everyone involved. 740 meals will be going to the USA to help fight hunger. I think we should all be very proud of ourselves. I think all the players should be very proud of themselves as well. That's a fantastic thing to be involved with. But I mean, Splyce have got a lot of questions to be answered after that performance. You said it yourself, the definition of insanity. We've been through that before. They just kept trying that infield pass, and it just, towards the end of the series, it became so simple to read for the guys on upper 90.
And unfortunately, they didn't even win that. Like, now they have to go through multiple games in the lower bracket tomorrow. It's like, losing that game just makes this so much harder.
I think what made it even worse for me, and the reason why I was getting very frustrated towards the end of that, is they could see that First Killer saw what they were going for. First Killer was already turning before the pass had happened. If they just went for something different, if they faked it out a little bit, they would have had an open goal for themselves. But instead, they kept going for the same thing. First Killer was already turning because he'd seen it 4 or 5 different times. It was frustrating, to say the very least, but they've got themselves a day now. They can go back, they can figure out what went wrong. I mean, it seems somewhat obvious.
We passed the ball, that's bad! No.
Yeah, you know what? You're not friends anymore, just 1v1 versus 1v1. Sort of play style. Might work out a little bit better, but I really want to see them come back. I really want to see them try some new stuff. I think once they open up, we saw the goal they scored was something different. They went off that ceiling. They made their opponents double commit. For the first time in the entire series, we didn't see Rapid and First Killer double commit at all. But as soon as they went off the ceiling and did something different, suddenly they got them to panic.
It was really all about that recognition. That like we talked about it. It's like, look, can they recognize how to play a teamwork-based thing, despite them both being these two incredibly based 1v1 players? And there was only one time that Rapid and First Killer really got tied up, which is what I think you were referring to back in that first game, where they went for that double commit. After that, though, they stayed out of each other's way. They said, look, if you're going to go do something nutty, I'll just wait. And then it worked out more often than not.
Well, we do have a brisk bracket update for you right now. Of course, we've just seen Upper 90 knock Splyce back into the lower half of the bracket right here. So this is where we're going to end up today. At the end of the bracket there, you can see NRG2 will be waiting to take on Sastro. And then Space Station will be looking to take on Upper 90 eSports. Our other upper bracket game tomorrow. Of course, we'll also have games from the lower bracket. We've got Dingle Bell taking on Weast, Birds and Bees waiting to take on USF Bulls. JLo will be waiting there for their opponents as well, and then Titanium Squash will also be waiting there in the lower bracket. That is your brisk bracket update. Fantastic day we've had so far, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have some of your highlights from the day. What's been the most impressive performance from you, and maybe your favorite goal from the day as well?
Favorite goal for the day? I mean, pretty much all of them from Garrett G and JNaps. Those are all pretty fun to watch.
That's pretty special.
The best part is you get more of that. So waiting to see them come back tomorrow. Really impressed with Upper 90. Really want to see them come back tomorrow and play Space Station Gaming. Just see how they compare.
I think they're back until Thursday. As far as I'm aware.
Yeah, that'll be Thursday. Or
yes.
when?
I think they might actually be favorites in that tournament. Space Station we just saw struggling in their match against Heavy Metal. I think after what I just saw, I put Upper 90 is probably the favorite for that matchup.
We'll see.
Interesting. We'll have to, of course, wait and see and find out ourselves. But next up, we have the State Farm Assist of the Day, gentlemen. And it's going to be interesting to see exactly what that is as soon as we can. We're not sure who has actually taken that home. But, I mean, what for you? What was your State Farm Assist of the Day?
Well, I mean, we went and picked this one, didn't we, Shogun? So, I mean, it's got to be this one.
Yep.
That touch from Laz.
I sound incredible.
That touch from Laz off the corner is so good right here. It's just like, you want to just go up, drive off that, let that one bounce, punch it off the back wall. But he's like, nah, I'm going to pre-jump and,
I mean, it's so easy to have that ball roll up the corner as well and just be completely useless to your teammates. So for him to do that well off the ball, be able to get that in such a great position was incredible from him. So there's some killers in this tournament. I'm not just talking from the terrible naming of some of these players. There's some genuinely phenomenal Rocket League players, and this is barely the beginning of the tournament. It's only going to get tougher and tougher.
That's a great point. We've got a long way to go in Season 2 of the Universal Open, of course. We always want to hear from you guys, though. Of course, we're going to be back tomorrow and the following day, so use the hashtag UOS2 to get involved. Let us know your thoughts on everything that's gone on today, everything that's going to be going on tomorrow, who your favourites are for tomorrow, who you might see getting eliminated tomorrow as well. Who do you think we could be seeing eliminated tomorrow, though, gentlemen? That's always an interesting question. We always talk about winners, don't we? Who's going to be going home? Well, staying at home, but you know what I'm saying. You know, out the tournament.
J-Lo, I think, might be out tomorrow. I really hope we get to see them play, just because I want to see those guys from CRL play. Low-Tech and J-Bob from Ohio State. So I really want to see them play, but I don't know if they make it to day 3.
How about you, Shogun? I won't ask for who you think's going home. I'm going to ask for your highlight of the day. Let's pick one thing, one moment from you. Yeah,
with your mouth noises. That was phenomenal.
That was great.
How can I pick anything else?
Thank you is all I can say. Thank you, Shogun. It's very kind of you. Gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the desk today. It's been a phenomenal day of Rocket League action, but I believe that is going to do it all from us here at the Universal Open Season 2, of course, sponsored by Brisk and 7-Eleven. It's been fantastic to have you all along. Hopefully, we'll see you all here tomorrow for some more Rocket League action, but until then, it's good night from us. Jumping at the bit to get into this one is going to be Splyce versus Titanium Squash. Your casters for this one are going to be Achieved and, of course, thank you very much on Balls covered. We're about those 11 saves.